The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Hey, we just had a show at the Corson Clubhouse, and it was an amazing time down in St. Catharines.
Yes.
Fabulous time. Thank you to that family-owned and operated business, the Corson Clubhouse. We love those guys.
It's great.
And you can watch that wherever you're listening to this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's the previous episode.
People are like, you don't put out enough. Well, we put out 4 shows last week.
Oh, we'll put out for you.
And a 5th VIP episode if you would like to subscribe to that. And you should. We want to announce our next live show, which is Saturday, October 18th. That's during hockey season at the Rec Room Roundhouse, which we've had before. If you joined us for All-Star Weekend a year and a half ago, then you remember where it is, but it's the big arcade, amazing stage area, that sort of thing. So that's going to be at 5 o'clock at the Rec Room at Roundhouse. That's just letting you know.
There's also 2 different ticket types.
Oh.
One is the regular ticket, and then there's a special ticket at no additional cost, and it only is for the first 50 people to buy tickets. You get an SDPN mini stick.
Oh, one of the new ones.
Yes, one of the new ones.
Do we have old ones?
So, yeah, we had the Spark SDPN mini sticks.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
but
these are different.
These are SDP specific mini sticks. First 50 people to buy those tickets get one.
That's amazing.
Ooh.
Yep. We get it.
By
at
the way,
door.
I'm really grateful to Maddie for not checking her cameras before she switched to me because I was rubbing my nose aggressively. And then I saw her flash it over to me and I was like, Maddie, damn it. Now I look like I'm just a child, when children go nuts on their nose. That's what I was doing.
I love a good unexpected camera switch.
I know.
Sometimes, like, one of you, it'll be like that Key and Peele sketch. You'll be like, yeah, this guy's a fucking idiot. And then the camera switches to me and I'm like, why is it on me right now? Why is it, Maddie? Hey!
Well, the camera won't leave.
You are?
I surprise myself sometimes.
With how good of a job you do.
That's right.
Sure.
That's right.
How great of a
Adam's
job.
good nose rub.
That's right.
Yeah.
They love a good, strong. You listen.
I love it.
Is there a more satisfying feeling for your face than a good nose rub?
I don't do that.
You don't do a nose. You've never rubbed your nose. You never.
Not
You never
not
just
like
had
the way you do it.
But you just break it up in there, and you're like, and then blow this out later.
Adam, it's okay. I'm weird allergy kid.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm with you.
You know what,
It's all
Jesse
good.
with his perfect skin and no allergies and
Yeah, he
everything's
doesn't know.
good.
Like,
I'm
look at
tall
this
and
guy.
attractive and really good at
My
stuff.
skin is not perfect. You can see right there.
Shut up.
Literally
Look
shut
at
up.
this.
Yeah, you hideous
I'm so
pig.
sick of it when
Look at
hot
Zachy
people are
scarring.
like, "Oh
you kidding
no,
me?
I'm not."
Oh no, guys, I'm not a 10 out of 10. I'm not. Oh, guys,
That's a weird way to start the
Stop
show,
calling me hot. I'm
fellas.
Jesse. Anyway,
We were
I
trying
want
to promote our live show, and you took it a place.
Well,
with your
Come
nose.
to the rec room and see how hot
I just-
Jesse is.
I just
Maybe he'll
wanted-
show a little leg.
You know what I love about every live show too is that several people will tell Jesse how tall he is.
Maybe.
Do you ever get tired of that? No?
It's the most recognizable thing about me.
Well, that
Imagine
in that
Steve
skin
was
of yours.
upset that people told him that he yells a lot.
I mean,
That's your thing.
could be worse, Jesse. It could be friggin' Cam Stewart from Drew and Stu. First time I met him, Dangle, how you doing? You're thicker than I thought.
Oh my god.
Cam is a fucking maniac. He's insane. I love him.
Thanks, man. It's great to meet you too. You're thicker than I thought. All right.
How did you respond?
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Cam is, if you've never checked out Drew and Stu, it's one of the best football shows out there. It's just so good. But Cam is
He isn't real. We're all hallucinating him simultaneously.
he is a movie character. He's
Yeah.
unbelievable. He's so funny and very good. Like they have a great show. I love it. Anyway, let's talk about I want to start with something and then we'll get in the actual stories this weekend because obviously there's the Stolarz extension and there's some other things that we got to talk about, whatever. But I want to start with this. Saturday's game sucked. If you were watching it, it's a preseason game. It sucked, right?
Meh.
It was one of those lifeless Leaf losses too. Like we've seen that before where they're like, yeah, we're not going to play good tonight. We're just simply not. And
It's the worst when you know you're watching that.
oh yeah. And you're like, I got to stick it through to the end here.
It's like
It was
8
a
minutes in. You're
scrimmage.
like, oh no.
It is a scrimmage, but there was no heart and soul until the last 5 minutes.
It was a
It's
scrimmage.
so Leafs. It's very Leafs.
You can't take anything from these games in terms of the competitive aspect or the final score or anything like that.
you have to take something.
You have to take.
What's the point in playing?
You have to take the individual efforts and how the lines are meshing and like how the power play looks because they're working out the power play and those things. But in terms of a final score, I'm
not worried about that. I'm worried about the effort level.
Look against Montreal.
If you're looking at individual effort, Jesse, there was none. Everybody had a 0 out of 10. Until the last 5 minutes.
So Jesse, you can only look at individuals, or it's best to look at individuals. Adam, what individuals stood out to you?
None of them. They were all bad.
Oh, stop it. One of them stood out to you, but in a not good way.
Which one is that? I don't know what you're hinting at. Just give it to me.
You know, every season Adam picks a guy.
No, that's not how that works.
Every season Adam picks a guy.
No.
And I think your guy's Nick Robertson, Adam.
Oh, he was bad. He was bad.
There it is.
Yeah, I was.
Steve, I would never. Oh, that one for sure.
That was bad. He's not my guy every time.
No.
I did a Nick Robertson booster, actually, but I feel like, man, Saturday he got, it was everything. So the first couple of games where he played, everything that good about Nick Robertson was shone through, I think, right? Saturday, I felt like everything about why he didn't play in the playoffs shone through. Hemmed in, not some of the plays were not great in terms of like just clean, simple passes and that sort of thing.
He's a bit of a clunky player at times.
Yes. And that drove me nuts against the AHL Montreal Canadiens.
Yes, but Nick Robertson had a mediocre practice on Saturday.
Oh.
There's a week and a half of training camp that happened before that, and there's like a week that's going to happen after that.
Yep.
It's one half practice where he wasn't that great. He's displayed a lot of good stuff before that, and those to me are just as important as the practice that happened on Saturday.
And he'll look great with the Sharks, I'm sure, because it's happening.
This is important because you go to the practices. By practice, you mean the exhibition game.
That's what happened on Saturday. That was an exhibition game, and in the morning they had training camp as well. That was there, and that's also practice. I think of those things as equivalent. Just seeing how they're out there scrimmaging, and then seeing the scrimmages against Montreal, the preseason game, like those things in my mind, Craig Berube is taking as much from those moments as he is from the game there, and the game is just. I think like the purpose of it is to just get the air into these guys' lungs so they're used to going at certain speeds for 60 minutes. And it's not so much the technical aspect of like, how are you excelling with the puck or in these drills, because that's what the rest of training camp is for.
So here's a question. Are the next two games practice plus? Because they're the last two preseason games and it looks like they're just straight up using the roster that they intend to use opening night.
I mean, are they?
So this is going to be my point. Hang on, because I didn't even get the chance to make the point that I was trying to.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I'm done with preseason.
Yes,
and
preseason's way too long.
And that is why I was kind of making that point. Is that it was a dud game. They did play lifeless. Nobody really had a great night, and then our next game's not till Thursday.
And this is Nick Robertson's third preseason.
I know.
Like he's what are we doing? Yeah. Why are we playing so many preseason?
Well, because I think that's an audition for another team. I don't think he's going to be here. I think they're going to trade him.
You're really banging that.
No, I think they're going to trade him. Because I think
that's not his guy.
I think Calle Jarnkrok is going to make this team. I think he's more valuable to it overall. Yeah. I think it's looking like Easton Cowan will. But my point is, and I'm just before we get into the Leafs roster, I'm glad they're shortening preseason even more. I hope it's 4 games or less in the future, because not only do I have to sit on that stupid Saturday night game for a few days, I got to sit till next Thursday on it. And Matthews ain't playing there either, right? We know that. He's only going to play 2. So we're going to play, now we got Saturday next week, and then we got to wait till the following friggin' Wednesday to get this, like, enough.
You know how that game didn't matter? Austin Matthews wasn't in it. Yeah. And he skated with the guys in the pregame skate with the group that was going to play, and then he just took the game off.
Yeah, because he didn't
because they're like, he looks fine.
Jesse, you probably missed this, but Kipper seemed a little miffed that he was not playing.
Actually?
Yeah, he was like, I don't know why he chose not to play. I was like, oh, okay. Because, Kipper's an NHLer, right? He knows.
Because we don't want to hear another story in November about how he's in Germany getting evaluated for nuclear.
Yeah, but I also like
surgery. I don't know.
Versus new school, right? Old school, a little bit like, no, get in the friggin' game. It's Saturday night. It's Toronto. It's Montreal.
Oh, okay. Well, Matthews, how about you play in the game, you play 30 minutes, and between every shift, you hack a dart and drink a beer. All right, let's go full old
I liked
school.
it. I liked it.
That's really interesting because I wonder if, from his perspective, there's obviously going to be a lot of insight from like playing. Games,
Yes,
you
yeah,
know. So
yeah.
does he know something that like we don't in terms of the locker room looking at that, or is that an old school way of looking at it? Because I don't think the modern guys would have a problem with it, but with the old school guys,
I think they would.
Yeah.
I think they would, and I think that's what's interesting about it. So listen,
I don't care personally.
It's a microcosm of how seriously.
I don't either,
game.
but I think you could have wrapped preseason this week. What are we doing?
Yep.
Yeah, by the way, the reason I'm relying on your takes is I missed the majority of the game.
While you saved whatever you were doing, I guarantee you is more entertaining.
I was looking for.
You could have been at the hospital getting a lobotomy.
I was
and it would have been
looking
more,
for it close.
It was that bad.
I was looking for a friend of a friend's lost dog in the dark for 2 hours.
That's why you weren't texting me back about Nick Robertson, because if you were,
That's right.
you would have been like, yeah, you know what, Adam, you're actually right on this one.
You know what's-
And I like Nick. I've been boosting Nick for a year and a half.
You know what's relieving but annoying? You know what happened in the end?
What?
Dog just came home at 1.
They always do.
Just came home at 1 in the morning.
And I had a dog, and he ran away once, and then I looked all over the neighborhood for him,
Yeah.
and I found him at my back door. And my other dog was panicking
Yeah.
because the one dog left, and she knew it wasn't good that he left.
Right.
And he
right.
had no idea, blissfully unaware.
That was Charlie when Iggy got out and went to the pound, and I picked him up from the pound, and he was like, "Why are you taking me away from this glorious
Yeah,
building?
look at
full
all
of
these
cats?
butts. Look at these butts I can sniff and these cats.
All these butts and cats, and this nice man came and put me in a van. It was great. It was great.
The dog catchers now are significantly less scary than they were in 101 Dalmatians. I do think that they've changed their brand
Yeah.
significantly.
They've gone away from oversized butterfly nets.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel really bad for oversized butterfly net manufacturers
Yes.
because their business must be suffering.
Well, they pivoted to fishing, right? You got to put the net under there. So,
See, you got to pivot.
yep,
It's
exactly.
Q-tips. It's for cleaning your keyboard.
Anthony Stolarz, 4 years, $3.75 million per. This is 4 years, $15 million for those one who do the whole math thing. Great deal for the team and the goalie. Currently, 6 NHL teams are paying at least one goaltender more than the Leafs tandem's combined number. Overall, the combined cap ranks 19th league-wide for the Leafs. And that is
crazy.
from Anthony Petrelli, Maple Leaf Hot Stove, who's awesome.
And it's only going to get better because those two, Stolarz and Wall, are locked up for the next 2 seasons after this.
Yeah.
7 point. It's either 4-2 or 2-4.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's absurd.
Jake
It's absurd.
Ottinger makes more than the both Leaf goalies. Now, he's Jake Ottinger. And he can play 60 games on his own, and it seems like the Leafs tandem is going to struggle to hit 60 games this year too. But, you know, this
There's
is
2 of them.
There's the interesting thing about Anthony Stolarz is the way they were framing it on Saturday during the broadcast was hilarious. Because like, well, you know, you signed him to the extension. I can't remember if it was signed or not. I don't think it was. I think it was Sunday. And they're like, you signed him to extension, and you don't worry too much about that extra year, because they were talking about 4 or 5 years at that point, because there's not a lot of hard miles on that body. I'm like, wait a second, this guy's had his knees reconstructed. But I think the point they were trying to make is in-game action. He hasn't been beat up the same way a guy who, you know, like a Connor Hellebuck would, who's roughly the same age.
Yeah, I mean, there's different kinds of hard miles, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's a different point, but it's an interesting one.
Yeah, but it's like this car has less miles, but it's been in 5 collisions. you might look at the miles a little differently.
Yeah, perhaps.
Plus, like, the number's so little that if it is hard miles on the body, you need to go get a starting goaltender. He's being paid like a really good backup.
Yeah.
Like, so there's really no concern with this deal. And we've been teased for weeks with a 4.75. And for it to come in $1 million under, it's unbelievable.
I don't think it was that long ago. We were like, what if it's over 5?
Yeah.
Like, what if he gets like what Spencer
Adam
Knight
asked that question.
Yeah. And for it to come in under 4 is nuts. Like, there's risk to the term. Like, if his knee goes again, is he going to have a third 925 season in a row? Like, I don't know. But term with a rising cap is a luxury. And there's give and take here. You know, Tavares is likely to decline because time is undefeated. Here's some term, and you give us it's less than $4.5 million. Ridiculous. Tanev the same. Like, I look at that contract totally differently. Stolarz, and the great thing about all three guys, they're good. They're good.
Yeah,
they're good right now. That's what I care about.
it's a really it's I can't believe that we're living in an era, because we weren't in this one for so long, where the Leafs are getting good contracts on the books. And they did always find like value contracts. Like, I will always, Michael Bunting, what a great signing. That was great. But
They were good at getting like 1 or 2 a year.
yes, but they never got it from their stars. And the big question was always, how come the bigger players, none of them want to take, quote unquote, take less? Anthony Stolarz' case, I kind of see where the Leafs are coming from here, because he probably wanted like 4.5 over 3 years or something like that, if you look at it. You add that 4th year, it brings the AAV down. But this is a guy that, you know, something goes wrong in the first couple months of the season, and you're not going to get that money ever again. You might as well just take it.
Well, what I was saying in the video, like I was trying to lay it out. Like, okay, let's say he completely lays an egg this season. Well, now you're going into free agency. And someone's going to pay you. They're going to pay you that. They're definitely not giving you that term. They might give you that cap hit. Okay, well, let's say the next contract doesn't go so great, and now you're struggling again. And how do you make up that $15 million? What are the odds that you're able to make up that $15 million?
There's 3 guys I think about when you mention something like that, and you guys will know one of them intimately. The first one's Cody Franson. The Leafs offered him a 5-year, $25 million extension 10 years ago. Can you imagine what $5 million and a defenseman would be 10 years ago?
He fumbled the bag. Yeah,
he turned it down, and then I think he got injured, went to Buffalo, never made that kind of money.
Went to Europe for a little bit too, came back.
Another one is former Leaf John Klingberg, who had a $50 million deal on the table.
Oh, it was bigger.
Or was it bigger than that? I thought it was 7 times 7.
I thought with the Stars, no, I think it was 8 times 8.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Turned that down, obviously.
I'm struggling to remember. I think that was from Merrick when he was still on 32 Thoughts.
And the other one I think about was rumored, but I don't fully know that it was offered, was Taylor Hall. And Taylor Hall was supposed to get 8 times 8 or something like that.
Marty Biron back in the day supposedly wanted like 6, ended up signing for 1.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. It's
like, as somebody who's never been offered $15 million over the next 4 years, I don't know how you say no to that.
Klingberg was 8 times 7.
8 times 7.
Oh, okay.
8 times
Well,
7.
damn. 56.
then.
Yeah.
Phew. And I am going to go out on a limb and say he has not made that up.
That's mean.
I don't know if he's made half that up.
Yeah.
He's made a great living playing hockey, but 56 mil, he won't make that for the rest of his career.
Yeah, and I look at the Anthony Stolarz situation, and I'm not reporting anything, but I suspect the negotiation went something like, if he wanted $4.5 million, it had to be on a 3-year deal. And if he gets that extra year, you bring it significantly down. But over the course of the contract, 4 times 3.75 is more than 3 times 4.5.
Yes.
He's making about $2.5 million more over the length of the contract. So he probably looked at that and said, I'll just take the extra money and the extra year.
And that's what he makes this year. He makes 2.5 this year.
Yeah, because he's not gonna, if he waits and he does the 3-year deal for the 4.5, he doesn't think at the age 34 when that deal expires that he's got a $4 million deal to make up that difference that he's leaving on the table there. So this made a whole bunch of sense when it came down to the negotiation side of it.
And this is his last chance.
Yeah.
So, and what I mean by that, so he was a free agent a couple summers ago, and the Leafs got him for 2.5 times 2. He's going to turn 32 in January, I think, and he signed a 4-year deal. This is your last big cash in.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's there when you're 36, turning 37.
Which you can't bet on it being there.
I mean, it's unlikely, frankly. And you're able to secure $15 million. That's probably more than he's made in his career so far.
Probably.
Yeah, I would think
Probably.
so.
Like the Leafs deal was $5 million.
Well, and he had to be a suitcase, right? He had to bop around and Philadelphia, Anaheim, Florida, in succession. Edmonton had Stolarz.
Yeah, he was highly touted at one point. He's a second round pick. He was traded straight up for Cam Talbot, like earlier Cam Talbot. Oh my god! And it took him a while.
Stolarz has a 16-team no trade clause that kicks in. I guess applies to year 1 of the extension. Goes to 10-team in years 2 and 3, and then a 5-team in year 4.
Okay.
Cool.
Just thought I'd let you know.
I mean,
just getting particular.
Yeah.
We got a podcast. We got time. So
well, and think about it. Why would they trade him?
Well, because it's not going well. If it's not going well,
Who wants it if it's not going well?
yeah, exactly. Or Akhtyamov.
That's making me. I was ranting about that to my wife, who pretended to listen. It was very kind of her.
That's
it's 3 syllables. And
that's the secret to a good marriage is feigning interest in your partner's things that you're not particularly interested in, but you love them. Right?
I will point out to myself that she's not interested in this before she does.
But you still do it.
Most of the time, but I still do it. And at the end, I go, thank you for listening. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
You want the broadcast to switch back? Or switch to what you say?
Akhtyamov. It's not Akhtyamov. It's aggressively wrong. I'm sure both of them are wrong. Akhtyamov is aggressively wrong.
Yeah, you played the correct one where you got the Russian, the way to say it, the most Russian way possible. But is it not fair to say like he's Anglicized it, so this is the way he wants English to say it?
Oh, why stop there? Let's just spell it every time we want to say it. Let's just say every letter. If either it matters or it doesn't. Listen, if that's the way he wants it said, then say it that way.
But I think we've come to the conclusion it doesn't matter.
Akhtyamov. I'm dying on that hill. Here lies Steve. 3 syllables.
You're not even saying it right yourself.
Okay. Whatever you say. C.
Yeah. Balake.
Yeah, like it's not Akhtyamov.
Actually, it is, I think it is.
It is.
No,
it is.
Akhtyamov.
There's a little thing with Lawrence.
It's Lawrence. Enough.
So it's both because Mark Masters they have a thing on TSN about how to say the name.
It's actually Lorenz.
Masters was on and they're talking about the name. So Mark Masters. Mark Masters. So what did he do, Steve? He asked the fucking guy. So on Saturday morning, Masters went up to Stephen Lawrence and he asked the fucking guy and he got him to record into the phone.
Did he hold a knife to him?
What he wanted him to
say. Give me how you pronounce your name.
Yeah.
Toronto media.
It was a giant butcher knife. And he said that when you go to, where's he from? Nova Scotia?
Stephen Lawrence? Waterloo, how dare you?
Where the name originates from?
Oh, I don't know.
Where his name originates from, when you go to that town, it's Lawrence. But he said, say Lawrence. Outside of there, everybody says Lawrence. That's fine. But if like his, I forget if it's mom or dad, so I should have had all the info before I started talking. But like when you talking to his family and where they're from, it's Lawrence. But for him, in the public, and everybody, it's Lawrence.
So
names?
Well, it's Lawrence to me. And I listen to the Leaf Report and Jonas Siegel. Jonas. Another one of these. Steve, Jonas Siegel, go. He calls him Lawrence in it. And I'm like, damn it, Jonas.
Oh, of course.
What are you talking about?
This is just Toronto media being difficult. Names are a trip. I know someone whose last name is Cicerello, and I'm like, and they're like, yeah, it's supposed to be Cicerelli, but they arrived on the boat and some guy was just like, meh. Just some other Italian. Just Reddit Glenn has a bunch of different spellings. The letters don't matter.
They actually don't. When you go back and you read English from 100 years ago, people are like, what's happening to our language? Like 150 years ago, nobody spelled anything right. It's fucking hilarious. I'm like, you guys are so full of shit. The group of people that says that, I'm like, you shut up. Nobody has spelled anything right ever. You'll live. Now, let's talk about the fact that Stephen Lawrence, born on April 13th, 1996. I was born April 13, 1988. So I just want to say...
That's great, man.
Birthday twins. I want to talk about him and I want to talk about a list of names, okay? I'm just going to throw a list of names at you. Simon Benoit.
Hooray.
Bobby McMahon. Joseph Wall. Matthew Nyes, John Tavares, William Nylander, Anthony Stolarz.
What are we doing with these names?
All of these names have negotiated contracts, either as free agents under or extensions under Brad Treliving. And
Thank you
his
for
group.
making that longer so I could take off my sweater.
And all of them are great deals. Benoit, solid deal. They got him for nothing. They signed him to nothing, and he's still making nothing, and he's quite valuable. Bobby McMahon came out of nowhere. They were going to waive him. Then he scored a hat trick, and then he was really good. Signed him to, 1.35? Like nothing.
Yeah, I think it was times 2. I kept telling myself it was 3.
Joseph Wall signed that extension last year. I was like, wait a second, shouldn't he earn that? Boy, was I wrong.
3.66.
That's amazing. William Nylander, 11.5. In retrospect, looks incredible.
If he
where this
repeats
is
what he
going-
did last season and was heading into free agency this summer, what's he getting?
14?
He's getting at least what Marner got.
Yeah.
Like with inflation, 100%.
Oh, he's getting more than what Marner got. Marner took a haircut to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Marner did not max his value.
Is he getting more than what Rantanen got?
Yeah, because Rantanen also didn't take the max that he could have gotten. If Rantanen goes to open market and goes, I want to make the biggest amount of money, then he's making 14. 14 and a half.
to the Blue Jackets, 15 mil.
Yeah, it could have been. And there's one notable miss with Brad, as in terms of contract extensions, that he didn't do good, and I have a feeling I know why. David Kampf.
Yes. Well, it was his first order of business.
It was his first week, and I think Shanny was a big fan. Because even to all of us observers at the time, we're like, what?
It wasn't a
Gonna make
great
how much?
start. It
wasn't.
Oh.
But I think I want to just highlight the fact that this front office operates so much differently than how it did 3 or 4 years ago in terms of how it retains players and the expectations of salaries and things like that. They are really going to the wall for the team to keep that number down.
Can I ask Adam Wilde a question?
Please.
Is Brad Treliving good or is Kyle Dubas just bad?
I don't think I think you can't say, and this is what's so frustrating, you can't say anything about Dubas with the Leafs without mentioning Shanahan. You can say tons about Dubas in Pittsburgh because Shanahan's not there, but also the ownership group changed and things got complicated. There's always outside factors. At a certain point, somebody's going to have to take the thing. I think we can all probably agree that the role players and star players that have signed in this group and this part of Leafs history is a far different far cry from what it used to be. And, respectfully, Matthews was worth every dollar. I think I think he lived up to his contract. I don't think he didn't live up to his contract. I think in the playoffs, he didn't play to the area we needed him to play. William Nylander always outperformed his contract in the regular season, signed this one, then was the second leading scorer in total goals last year, and then was a monster in the playoffs, and always is.
I got to go back. It's not about Marner not holding up his end of the bargain. It's his peers from when he signing for significantly less.
Yes, and that is on
Rantanen.
the Leafs. That's on the Leafs. Because
Yes.
who offered him the deal?
The Leafs.
And that's where the difference is. I do think there's a little bit of the winds have changed on that one. And listen, star player like Matthews, you're going to be like, yeah, what do you want to make, Austin? Like that is an easy one. That guy scored 69 goals once. He scored 60 another season.
Hey, that's the 15th best player in the NHL you're talking
Yeah,
about.
according to the NHL Network, yes.
He scored 60 goals in 2
No, but he didn't do it last
5 minutes ago. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What?
33 goals is a significantly down year for me.
In how many games? He scored at a 94-point pace.
But let's talk about, I do want to say that I think that's a significant change and it's worth looking at because it has taken a couple years for people to adjust to the post-Dubas and now post-Shanny era. And frankly, I understand that because they were here for both of them for 10 years.
Forever.
So now that we're out of it, it is sort of interesting to see them getting good value contracts for players.
I mean,
and
Leafs,
using their leverage.
The Leafs feel downright normal. You know what I mean? You had to put a caveat on everything. They didn't conduct business the way most teams do. And look at how many depth guys they lost or even middle of the lineup guys they lost because they would be smart enough to scout them and sign them. And then they performed well, just like we all thought they would, and it wouldn't be enough. And guess what? It's payday. And now you got to do it again. Because it's like they opened up all these micro windows. Like this is the Bunting micro window, and you blew it. Okay. Here's the Hyman window. You blew it. Connor Brown, like at the contract that the Leafs pitched out the door, I think he was making 2.1. Yeah, it was years ago, but oof. You couldn't afford that?
I got one for you.
What?
Well, no, but here's the thing, Steve. Like, so 20 goal season, Bobby McMahon, what's he make? 1.35, right?
Yeah.
20 goal season, I make 3.2. Who am I?
20 goal season, 3.2. Not on the Leafs, obviously.
Not anymore.
20 goal season, 3.2.
Got a $3.2 million contract out of it for 4 years and played with 3 teams over the course of that 4 years. Now an Oiler.
It's not McKayev.
It's Barry Kapanen.
Man, he used to make 3.2.
2019, him and Andreas Johnsson signed those 2 contracts. And it's like, I even look at those and I go, those needed to be smaller.
Well, and
there is no excuse for those not to be smaller.
With Kapanen and Johnsson, the praise for those deals was, yeah, but there's bonuses in them, and then they can just pay those bonuses and then trade them. Oh, so the genius behind those deals is you just fire a money cannon at all their problems. And it's not our money, so I don't give a damn. But at some point, that must have worn thin on ownership. Like, oh, okay. So you've built in all these contingencies for if we need to get rid of these deals. What if they were just good deals?
Right.
What if they were just good deals for good players and we kept them?
Yep.
How about that? How'd all those picks work out? All that stuff that you got for Johnsson and,
Yep. I'm looking.
The draft picks are magic beans, and they take forever, even if you hit.
Yep. I mean, the Andreas Johnsson was making $3.4 million. Now I know he got injured, but like
he was a good player.
He was a good player,
yeah.
But he wasn't a $3.4 million player, and he was an RFA. Mason McTavish just got $7 million bucks. And Andreas Johnsson in 2019 was getting 3 and 3.4 when the salary cap was $72 million bucks.
I think everyone.
We have to go back and actually autopsy this, because there are some. I'm blown away when you go back and you look in retrospect.
People have their strengths, and Dubas, I think, is good at taking a team on the downturn and turning their assets into picks.
Yes,
he did.
Awesome.
He did a good job of that with the Leafs. He's doing a good job with the Penguins. Man, he was a horrible negotiator. And at the time, I was like, maybe not. And enough time has passed. Holy shit, he was terrible. And he hasn't done a much better job in Pittsburgh. Treliving so far is doing a pretty good job here with RFAs, UFAs, all of them.
Jesse, what do you think the reaction in the Leafs room today will be for Anthony Stolarz walking in? Because I know he was off yesterday. I saw the Ryan Leslie post, which was really cool on the Leafs social media. What do you think it'll be?
I think high fives all around.
High fives.
Like what a great deal. It's such a new era in Leafs town, with the big change in ownership and the president down, like all those things you're talking about with Dubas. I think you're very right to bring in Shanny. It's both of them, it's who knows who's the negotiator in those deals, but it's a turning of the page where guys want to stick around, and Stolarz is built for the market. He always praises Toronto. Nothing phases him. He's the same way like Willie, where it's this guy can play here under the pressure.
He seems to really enjoy it.
He thrives in this opportunity. I think for him to get these opportunities so late in his career, I like that from players because they appreciate more what a truly great chance it is. When you get things when you're young, you might not understand the opportunity you have when you come into the league and all of a sudden you're ushered into a starting role or you're in the lineup every night and those sorts of things. To have to wait to 31 to try to be like, hey, you're our starter heading into this season. The backup's not here right now. You were the starter last season, but it's still kind of like we'll see who's going to earn this job. You're our number one starter in Toronto at this age. He has an appreciation for what a privilege that is because it took him so long to get there. So I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. He's a good guy in the locker room, and he's perfect for the team.
I think, obviously I want Woll back and I want him to be 100%. Still don't know what's going on there, but right now you have two goalies in net who I think look around every day and go, holy shit. And that's Stolarz and Reimer. Like,
who we haven't talked about yet.
Reimer, like we're all like, God, that's so weird. And he's like, I know. Yes, it is indeed. What is going on here? It is so gosh darn weird, he would say.
It happened on Friday. We haven't done one of these shows in our studio
No.
since Reimer signed the PTO.
Yeah.
And I think they're setting it up so that he's going to be signed at least to an AHL deal, like at minimum.
He's with the Marlies today. He's not going to go to Muskoka with them.
Yeah. So I think like that's the bare minimum that we get through the next week because I assume his fitness is up to snuff. Like they know what they're getting in him, that he can hang in the NHL if they need to. And I think like the high ceiling is he's the backup goalie on day one. I could see Hilda be having that job for a little bit, and then maybe they bring up Reimer. But Reimer, like you said, he's like a what the fuck happened? How am I back here kind of moment.
I don't think he's ever said those words.
No, first of all, he's never sworn in his life.
No.
But yeah, there's another guy who's like, wow, I'm back in Ford Performance in Scotiabank Arena.
I wonder like if there's a point necessarily signing him to an NHL deal until you need a start.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can you run out Dennis Hildeby, or does he's got to pass through waivers?
No, Hildeby
He
can
doesn't?
clear. No.
So do you want to start Reimer guys at the AHL level first just to see?
I think you sign him to the AHL deal. Like I don't
Okay.
think you waste a contract slot right now. Like that's where I'd start Reimer, get him into some games and everything. I think Hildeby's very good to be a backup in case because Stolarz will have all the games, and then Hildeby's your break glass in case of emergency. Right?
Only the Leafs know the correct answer there.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea what's going on with Stolarz, but
With Woll.
Sorry, Woll.
Yeah.
What I've said in other places and other videos, Reimer. He's 37, man. 3 days younger than I am. But he was the only goalie on Buffalo last year with a winning record. He was the only goalie on Buffalo last year with a save percentage above 900.
It makes sense why they would get rid of him.
You could argue he was a sleeper agent because he might have screwed up their draft pick because he was like kind of good for them down the stretch. Like, is he what he was in Toronto? Man, you know what I discovered over the last few days? There's a section of Leaf fans that always thought he sucked.
Well, there was a section of most of the media always thought he sucked.
Yeah, and I guess I forgot about that.
The only guy in the media I heard stand up from was Don Cherry. Yeah. Everybody else was like, this guy sucks and Jonathan Bernier is going to be better and blah, blah, blah. And they were wrong.
He
were really
had
wrong.
like a 920 and this crazy winning record. And they're like, and awful up front, awful on the back end. You know what we need to do?
They get rid of him.
Upgrade goaltending. Upgrade the only thing that got us to the playoffs at all.
And it makes sense that the GM at that point is the guy that cannot stop speaking to the media, which is Dave Nonis. I think he was probably feeding that through. I think that was the vision of front office, and that is why you heard people saying they don't like Reimer, he's not good, he's not good. And you could hear it from like Randy Carlisle. There was that clip where Randy's
okay.
like, just okay, and Reimer was like, oh, is that what he said?
Well, I thought it was good. Yeah, I'm reminded why I liked him so much 10 years ago when he was a Leaf. Because it wasn't just that he was performing well, it's that I felt like I had to rally against those voices, and every 40 save performance he put up in front of a dog ass team, I was like, see. Anyway, but like that's so far in the past.
You were the one who brought up that he's never worn this Leaf logo.
He's never
Wow.
I was like,
That's
you
nuts.
blew my mind.
He's never worn this Leaf logo. He was traded in February 2016. The Leafs didn't win the draft lottery for Matthews until April 2016. He was drafted by John Ferguson Jr. When he was drafted was less than a month after smoking in restaurants became illegal in Ontario.
Wow.
It didn't become illegal until the end of May 2006.
That's funny.
And he was drafted toward the end of June 2006. Like, there's so many, you could look up like what the hit songs were, what was big in theater. He was drafted in the last days of Adam and I being in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a long journey.
Yep.
And the fact that he's still, he was one of only 9 players from the 2006 draft class to play NHL games last year.
Wow.
Crazy. Like, there were over 200 players selected, and he's one of 9.
Good for him.
Over 500 games played. Like, listen, there's a reason I took his stuff down and I stick to it. You got to have, well, he's got his beliefs. I got mine. But in terms of stopping pucks, it's something he can still do.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. I'm sure he'll get a good pop if he plays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even if he's the backup goalie and they do like, hey, here's the announcement on day one. Here's our full roster and everybody comes out. Like, biggest pop.
His first win at home and the glove up to the sky, like, people are going to mark out like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like Edge returning in the Royal Rumble. Like, it's surreal.
Did you know in the 12-13 season, he finished 23rd in Hart Trophy voting?
Yes, he got 1 5th place vote.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
1 5th place vote, and it was Jesse Spector.
And by the way,
I didn't know Spector.
He deserved it because, man, there's no way that team would be in the final.
Not Mark Spector, to be clear.
Yeah,
Jesse
Spector. Other Spector.
Yeah, I always thought that was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he argued it too. It was most valuable to his team.
He was the most valuable Leaf.
They're a lottery team without him.
Yeah.
They're a lottery team without him. Maybe they could have got Nathan McKinnon.
The team in front of him clouded people's judgment on him because the team was hot garbage, but he propped it up. So people always thought he was kind of bad because the entire team was bad, but he was competent back there.
To be fair, too, like, it had been a long time since Toronto had watched a good goalie, and it had been a long, long time since Toronto had watched a good team. And so when the goals go in, the camera goes to the goalie. And so your mind is instantly like, hey, what the hell did he do? Whatever. And, for people back then, like, the bevy of online information we have now was just not available. There was a few sites like Extra Skater and that sort of thing that could tell you that, but none of that was taken seriously. And I think, when you go back and you watch that Leafs team from 2012, 2013, or the seasons before when he became Optimus Rhyme, like, those teams, I was giving Nick Robertson a hard time about Saturday's performance, and it wasn't good. But the entire team would regularly play like that. This was a team that could never break out. This is a team that it was, hey, you're up 5-1. It'll be 5-5 by the end of the third. I guarantee it. Like, they were really bad, poorly constructed, no vision. And the ownership group, which was the teacher's pension plan, didn't give a shit. And I know that from people inside the organization who told me they didn't give a shit. It's as much as we have complained about the Leafs in recent years and their lack of playoff performance, when we started this show, we were just talking about the lack of playoffs in, like, period. There were no, but we didn't expect that it was going to take 10 years to get a couple of second rounds out of them. That's what happened.
You know, it was like 6 or 7 months after we started the show that we got to talk about our first Leaf game. Eh? Because it was May 2013.
No. The lockout had already happened. I'm saying we started May 2013. They had already been eliminated. Oh, yeah, I know that. Third round.
And that, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy times. I want to talk about one quick thing before we do the BetMGM big story, and that's Calle Jarnkrok. Josh Chloe did an article in The Athletic about this. And Calle, I was excited when he came back last year, and he wasn't great. But what happened apparently was that he was in real, like, serious pain. And when after the season was over, he and his family went to Greece to just go on a vacation. And the pain was so bad that even going for a jog was going to be a problem. And then somewhere through July, the pain sort of disappeared, and the hernia that he had a sports hernia.
This was last summer?
This is like this.
Oh, this
like
past
a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And it's the pain and that sort of thing didn't really dissipate until July of this year. And so he was playing in serious pain through the first 2 rounds last year, and people were giving him a lot of shit. I get that. But I think, based on what we've seen in this preseason, we talk about individual performances, Jesse, of the 3 guys, Kampf, Robertson, Jarnkrok on the bubble, he sure seems like the guy that's going to stay.
Yes.
Because if Cowan's going to make the team, which it looks like he might, then Jarnkrok's forward number 13.
So they're kind of telegraphing what they're going to do with their lineup, and I had it up, and now it's gone.
Let's see if Jesse, who has been to the camp, can guess it all the way through fully. While you're pulling it.
No, just read it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so Luke Fox, Maple Leafs opening night lineup taking shape. Best bet. Nyes, Matthews, Domi, McMahon, Tavares, Nylander, Dakota Joshua, Nick Waugh, Matthias Michelli, Lawrence, Lawton, Cowan. And then I'm going to have to add the extras for him because he doesn't add them. I think the extras are Jarnkrok, Robertson. My guess is Cowan, unless he's spectacular, gets sent down eventually and Jarnkrok becomes the regular there. On D, McCabe, Tanev, Carlo, Reilly, Carlo, OEL, Benoit, if cleared for contact. My guess is if he's not ready for opening night, it's Philip Myers. He's by far the most likely to get claimed, in my opinion. So there's your max roster. Now you have your goalies, Stolarz, and that's where it gets a little cloudy.
Probably he'll be for the first little bit until Reimer plays a game or two. But the Leafs just sent a bunch of players to the Marlies like an hour ago too.
Yeah.
So including our guy Barbolini. But I think it'll be kind of cool to see how this team sort of shakes out. And then, are you losing Kampf and Robertson on waivers, or are you making trades this week? Because we at least might get some trades.
You don't. No, you just keep Robertson as an extra.
Is there not a limit in terms of how many players you can carry?
Yeah. So you have 3 extras, and my extras are Jarnkrok, Robertson, Myers.
What about Thrun?
He gets waived.
Okay.
Unfortunately. And you might lose him. Kampf, I don't think anyone's taken that.
No.
Maybe, and if they do, like, sayonara, sorry. Like,
2 years left on it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's going to clear. Even Thrun makes a mill.
Jesse, what do you think David Kampf or Nick Robertson might be worth in a trade? Like, what can we reasonably expect?
Not much. You just want a draft pick back and the cap space. Right. Nick Robertson, I don't think you should trade him. I don't think that's a smart move because you don't need to trade him. You can just scratch him and keep him on your roster.
You're an injury away from needing him.
Yeah. Like he could very easily play a lot of games for this team and probably should. And then Kampf, you just get a draft pick in the cap space if you need to do that. He also might clear waivers.
Yeah, Robertson, like, he was we gotta change our words. Like, he was a regular in the lineup. He wasn't a mainstay, I guess. Like, he played over 50 games. That's a regular. He played more than half the games, way more than half the games. The playoffs are the playoffs, but we're angling for an 82 game friggin' slog here, and you're gonna need him.
Let's do the BetMGM big story. You may or may not know this, but division champion 2-time now in Toronto because the Leafs won their division, and so did the damn Blue Jays, baby. Let's go.
Woo! Take my little victories.
It matters more in baseball, let's be honest. A lot more. But that means, because in baseball, you actually get an advantage. You get to miss the first round, which is pretty cool.
Huge pitching advantage, yeah.
Yeah, for the Leafs, that would be great. Missing the first round, they should try that.
Can't lose there.
So, Jesse, there's something, though, in the BetMGM odds that's driving you a little bit nuts.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, like you said, earned the bye in the first round as the top seed by winning the division, and they're also the top seed in the American League.
Yeah.
They finished with the best record. They're better than everybody. But when you look at the World Series odds, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Wow.
In terms of World Series odds, the Mariners, who they had a better record than, they're a very hot team. They're very good, have the 3rd best odds. And then the Blue Jays are tied with the Yankees in terms of most likely to win the World Series. And I'm
is that a hot
offended.
Thing?
What do you mean?
Because I know the Jays faltered a little bit. The Yankees are red hot heading into the postseason. Is that what it's about?
I think they think the Yankees are as good as the Jays.
Huh.
And I think there's a whole season of evidence to prove that the Jays are slightly better. 8-1 is the number.
So what if it was like 8.1? Or 7.9.
There you
Sorry,
go.
did I go in the wrong direction?
Yeah, I think that would make me a lot happier if the Jays are 7-1, especially because like the Mariners having better odds too. Like they're 6.5 to 1 to win the World Series. I don't know. I feel like the Jays are a little underdoggy.
Is it because of how they performed and their pitching?
Yeah, they're dropping down the odds because of how they played down the stretch. Like it wasn't a pretty September, and you have that 4-game winning streak to win the division and get in there. But like I think there's a whole season of evidence from mid-May through mid-August that this team is one of the best teams in baseball, and they finished with the best record in the American League. Like they had all of that stretch of good baseball to end on the season with a tie where they win the tiebreaker. Like there's evidence here that this is a really good team, and I think they got a good shot at winning at least a couple of rounds.
July 3rd, they became the first place team, and they never relinquished it.
No.
3 months. That's
So
amazing.
What you're saying is if you usually bet on the Blue Jays, this is actually kind of great for you.
Yeah, because you get better odds, probably. Yeah.
You know what? Why are we complaining about that?
You want to take advantage of the system?
Now, okay.
Rip off BetMGM.
All right,
Rip 'em off.
Jesse, in all honesty, you're
Yeah.
a Toronto fan, so that has to color your lens here a little bit.
Sure.
Can the Jays really go to the finals, maybe?
I think they got a really good shot to beat the Yankees or the Red Sox in the division series. I think that's going to be... I think they're going to take care of business there. I worry when they go up against the Mariners of the world in the championship series, because those are whoever they face. Like if they face the Guardians are red hot, hottest team in baseball right now. So I worry about that next round, but I think you got at least one round of victory and at least 2 rounds of playoffs for the Jays.
I get family just outside of Seattle. If the Jays and Mariners face off, it's going to be text wars.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. Is Alejandro Kirk a Blue Jay?
Yes.
No problem.
Okay, there you go. There's your BetMGM big story. Remember, for terms and conditions, go to betmgm.com/dangle because, you definitely want to sign up and you don't want to miss out on the World Series action. Please play responsibly. 19 plus to wager, Ontario only. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario, 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Well, guys, book it. The Ducks are going to the playoffs. Mason McTavish has signed $7 million, 6-year deal. And according to Pat Verbeek, he's going to have a lot to catch up on.
Do you really believe that?
I do. Do I think the
this
Ducks can go to the
season-
playoffs? Yes.
That you're locking them in as a playoff team in
I
the
am.
West?
Yes. I think people are criminally underrating the Ducks. I think they're a really good team. I think that Philadelphia is going to have to eat so much shit when Cutter Gauthier goes off this year. It's bonkers what that kid is. Leo Carlson's amazing. Like this team is really good, and they're mean and they're big. Like you think about, okay, this defense has Trouba and Gudas on it, and I'm not saying they're the best defensemen in the league, but I don't think you'd want to have your head down.
Adam.
And they got one of the best young goaltenders we've seen this generation.
It's true. Adam. I will buy you a Ducks jersey of your choosing.
Okay, not the orange one.
Of your choosing with a player of your choosing. If they make the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Teemu Selanne.
And by buy, Steve means we're going to email Fanatics and ask for one.
Yeah, or maybe they'll give. Oh, you know what I'll get? A Steve Thomas. Steve Thomas was a Duck, and I love Steve Thomas.
Oh.
My boy Stumpy, love him.
Little purple Keith Carney
Dude,
action.
this is a Oleg Tverdovsky. I think that this is a pretty good deal for both sides, and it kind of every time these deals happen, I'm like, you guys couldn't have done this.
This could have been an email.
This could have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is about where everybody expected it to be. But I think it was a 2-year. I think he wanted 2 extra years or something, and they didn't want to do that, and then so they settled on somewhere in between. I don't know.
They grinded him. He wanted more. He probably wanted to cash in on the crazy cap. It's not the best time to be an RFA, unfortunately.
But when he's 28, when this contract ends,
Sure.
could be great.
But in the meantime, you're going to have to kick ass, take names, and then, I don't know, be a second liner who makes like 20 mil. Who knows how things will be at the end of it.
Yeah.
I thought this was a bit of a ridiculous line for the Ducks to take until you made the comparison to the Nylander stuff with the Leafs. Like, this is the first real deal Dostal doesn't count. He's a goalie.
And he's also signed.
Yeah. But they had to negotiate that.
Yeah,
right.
True. Yeah.
And he's a goalie, so it's a little odd. But when you made the Nylander comparison, he's the first RFA in what is going to be a large group of expensive RFAs.
Zellweger, Michukov, Lacombe,
It's pretty
Carlson, Gauthier.
Yeah.
They're all up, man. Except for, Michukov is up.
Seneca eventually.
Zellweger's up. Yeah, we'll see if Seneca makes the team. It's looking pretty good. Carlson and Gauthier are all up. Colangelo is too, in case you...
Yeah. They took care of business. They took care of business. Now they got the player. It's a shame that he's going to suck, in their own GM's words, because training camp's so important.
I mean, it is kind of important.
Oh, yeah?
What are you referring to?
Well, because Pat Verbeek said he's a new coach, new system. He's really going to have to. He's going to have a lot to catch up on, and I hope he's ready. And blah 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 blah. This is before he signed.
Oh,
Verbeek's trying to break him publicly.
Yeah, it was a little lip service, and did it work? Maybe it worked. Here he is. I mean, listen. At the end
$7 million, I think he's doing okay.
Yes. I always love. Like with Stolarz, we were talking about, it's a far smaller amount of money, and it's way deeper into a career where he hasn't made all that much money. Mm-hmm. When a guy this young, what is he, 20, 21?
22.
Like 22. When a guy this young, and it's like, well, you settled for, what does he get, 49 million instead of 51. I'm like, what was all that for?
Yeah, I'm curious to know what the negotiation sticking point was. Like, what was McTavish asking for more?
I think it was the term, apparently.
He didn't want to go with that long?
That they didn't. From what I understand, I could be wrong on this. I could have this reversed, but I'm pretty sure they didn't want to go that long, because if you go into those years, right? Because this takes him to 28. If he goes to 30, you're buying UFA years, which brings the money up.
See, my guess is he wouldn't want to go that long.
I don't know.
Well, if I'm the Ducks too, like, I probably wouldn't want to go that long, because like Mason McTavish is going to be a good player, but he's not that player right now.
Yes.
Like, career 22 goal scorer.
Yep.
Like, you don't want to pay. You don't want to lock in for 8 years just in case. You want to have a contingency plan here, right?
Yep.
So, like, I wouldn't be jumping at the opportunity to go the full 8 years.
We've done the show for long enough. Like, at the end of that contract, it might be a different league. Like, you don't know what the market inefficiency is going to be at the time. You don't know, like, what's going to be uber valued. 10 years ago, Alex DeBrincat was the guy everyone missed. And, things have sort of cooled on him. Things have sort of cooled on a lot of players like him. Mm-hmm. Not all. There's still guys like, Cole Caulfield and stuff like that. But teams want beef right now. And who knows, maybe 7 years from now, it's completely different.
Yeah, you don't want to lock up something. That's such a good point, because you don't want to lock up something that you don't know is going to be valuable to you 6, 7, and 8 years from now. Like, your first line centers of the world who are big and going to score goals, that's always going to exist in the NHL.
And is that him?
No.
Like, I don't know if he's a career first line center.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. Like, it's not a guarantee what Mason McTavish is going to be. Your defenseman, your right shot defenseman who can maybe put up points or is big and great at defense, always going to be valuable to you. Your goaltenders too. Goaltenders a little different, because you never know
how long. That's a year-to-year thing.
Yeah, you never know how long that goalie is going to stick. So we're getting to the, like, do we want to lock up for that long? And with Mason McTavish, I still think there's an unknown on how important he's going to be to the Ducks in 7 or 8 years from now. So 6 makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to be your number one center. Well, you're not our number one center right now.
Right.
So, probably not.
Well, I see a lot of people putting charts out there and that sort of thing. And you got to remember, this guy plays for the Ducks. And when he was drafted, the Ducks were way worse than they are right now. And right now, they're still close to the basement until they start playing.
I forgot he was born in Zurich.
This is a guy who, like...
Sorry, I'm distracted by the wrong
cool,
shit.
Steve, man. That's great.
Adam's in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
You're like, squirrel!
I don't give a shit. Squirrel! Yeah, Adam, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, go Ducks.
When you look at the metrics for any player that played for the Ducks in the last 4 or 5 years, they're all bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean... Are they all bad players?
No.
That's my conclusion.
Well, they were
Who's the best example?
Simon Benoit.
No, Cam Fowler.
Oh, fuck.
Cam Fowler.
shit.
What a pickup he was
Cam
for St.
Fowler's
Louis.
peak, like, hey, maybe not judge the guy who's on an awful team.
And then the
he
Blues
decided-
locked him up. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Not yet.
Not yet, we haven't.
I haven't talked about it.
Yeah, we're on the Ducks. But yeah, so like, who knows what Mason McTavish is going to be on a good team?
Where was he born, though?
Switzerland.
Steve forgot that. Can you believe that? Anyway,
Switzerland.
I carry that information around with me, but Steve forgot. What?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Marner almost played
I
there.
think you look at this team and you go, there is a good mix of veteran guys, and there is some young, exciting talents. Like Carlson and Gauthier, to me, are like, you got to get into the 60, 70 point range this year. That's the expectation. Mason McTavish has got to be up there, but I think they're far more high scoring. What I love about it is they're protected. You've got big boys back there. Granlund can come in and add a nice scoring touch as well. But Kreider, Killorn, Strome, Vetrano, Paling, these are not people you mess with.
I think playoffs is pretty aggressive, but I definitely agree with you that they're going to take a step. They're going to be better.
Here's what I see with the Ducks. This is why I'm so hard on the playoffs angle, okay? If St. Louis doesn't go on another insane St. Louis run, which is what they're known to do, right? Calgary's in the playoffs. If Calgary is good enough to get in the playoffs with the no goal scoring that they have, but they rode their goaltender, and God bless them, you can't tell me the Ducks don't have a really good shot.
So the Ducks have been a lottery team. And next year, I think I can join you and they'll be in the hunt. Like we're talking about.
Sorry, they'll be in the flock.
Hey. Wait, whoa. Boop, 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 boop. That's an old video game. Kids, and use the orange gun. Anyway, orange. It was perfect.
Yep.
We're talking mid-March, still playing meaningful games.
They're making the playoffs.
Not mathematically eliminated, probably out of it.
They're making the playoffs.
My issue with the Ducks being a playoff team is you're banking on St. Louis and Vancouver to not make the playoffs. And I have both of those teams ahead of the Ducks. And if you look at the standings from last year, the Ducks had 80 points. St. Louis got in with a tiebreaker over Calgary at 96
What if
points.
Vegas and Edmonton miss?
So what
What if Vegas and Edmonton miss?
I don't think that's very likely.
Why not?
So I'm going to pencil in those 6 teams that were in the division spots last year. The Jets, Stars, Avs, Knights, Kings, and Oilers. I don't think anybody here thinks that those teams are going to miss, right?
No.
So there's 6 spots already taken. And the last 3 spots between the Wild, Blues, and Canucks, I'm giving 2 of those spots to those 3 teams.
Minnesota gets
I'm also
So-
moving Minnesota up. I don't think they're
You're
a
going to
wild
replace
card
like
team.
the Kings?
Are they in that division? They're not in that division.
No,
I'm-
well, yeah, I
Go-
guess. 'cause
scroll
they're
up
not
a little
in the
bit.
division, in place of the Jets.
Well,
Sorry.
I think maybe not in place of the Jets. The Jets had a crazy regular season, but would it shock anybody that Colorado?
You're walking it back again.
You have if you want to replace the Wild, you said they're not a wild card team. So who do they get?
Well,
in?
because of the injuries last year. That's what I mean. They weren't going to be a wild card team. They were going to be a top 3.
So who are you pushing down? Is what I'm asking.
Probably Colorado.
Okay,
And then
so
I don't think St. Louis makes it, and I think the Ducks get in.
ahead. So Vancouver also doesn't make it.
Vancouver's got a lot to prove, man. Like every year we say this about Vancouver. They have so much talent on that roster. If Demko is healthy, Lankinen was great. They've got a great goaltending tandem. I think it's one of the better in the league. But you are asking so much of guys like, hey, Philip Hedl, can you play a full season? Can Elias Pettersson go from what he was last year, which was a 35, 36-point guy, and it magically over 4 or 5 months healed the knee that bothered him the entire season last year?
35 points is not good.
He had more than that, but it wasn't much more than that,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
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 I mean, you're asking a lot of you talk about we always talk about this season to season. Major point swings are hard to do, right? It's even harder as an individual player. And Pettersson had 45 points. Excuse me.
He really wasn't that far
That's
off.
what I'm saying. Like
Shit.
I think that there is
In
you don't have
64 games.
Yeah, you don't have JT Miller. You didn't have Phil Roenick a lot of last year, so that sucks. Quinn Hughes was injured. That sucks.
You have 2 goalies.
You have 2 goalies that are good. The thing about the Vancouver Canucks is it's always there. You can look at their roster the last 5 years, and every year from the magical run and over COVID to now, they should have been in the playoffs. That team was always good enough.
So you're taking the 8 playoff teams from last year, taking out the Blues, putting in the Ducks.
Yes.
And then you're set.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not
Interesting.
convinced on the Canucks until they show me.
Interesting.
They fell apart last year. Listen, we know that organization is chaos top to bottom. The players are great. They seem to love it there. The fan support's unbelievable. But I just think that when you have chaos at the top, it filters through management and goes all the way down.
And that chaotic team did only miss by 6 points.
Yeah. Yep. And they might miss by 4 this year.
The Ducks were a minus 42 goal differential.
I feel like that'll be different.
I understand the theory with them. I need to see it in practice.
I get it.
We haven't.
Because I'm telling you, I'm using the same argument against myself, right? I'm saying the Canucks need to prove it. So do the fucking Ducks.
Oh, yeah.
But I think if there's a team that's going to take a giant step forward and make the playoffs this year in the West, it's them. I even have them leapfrogging Utah.
32 teams need to prove it, Adam.
Well, thank you, Steve.
82 games. There's so many games.
Man, I love when we speak in general.
Isn't that so
my
great?
Favorite thing. Now,
That's
Cam
so great.
Fowler of the St. Louis Blues, what a magic run
Also,
he had.
just that take is not as ridiculous as my Blackhawks make the playoffs take. So, like, that's the
That was
Ducks,
wild.
The Ducks making the playoffs is at least more reasonable than I was last year.
I'm less upset at you for saying it and more upset at me for having a take, arguing it, listening to you, and then being like, you know what, Jesse's right.
That's called respect, though. You respect your friend. You're like, man, he made some.
Yeah, and he didn't deserve it.
I did not deserve the respect. You are correct about that.
Cam Fowler has re-signed in St. Louis. Now, he was, traded by Anaheim last year, and everybody kind of had this guy on the scrap heap. And I got to say, he was unbelievable for the Blues. Not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs too, and earns an extension. Torrey Krug, obviously, as we know, is never going to play again, and he's going to make $4 million again this year. But next year, he's making $6.1 million, and this guy is 33 now, so
already over 1,000 games.
And this contract's going to take him to like 37, 38. I don't know if there's a better story in the NHL last year in terms of player with a renaissance run.
Where's he going to end in terms of games played?
I don't know. But you see, my thing with Cam is when he was traded to St. Louis, what did everybody say? This guy sucks.
Bum.
Bum. Why?
His numbers were bad because he was a Duck.
Right. And what happened when he went to St. Louis, had a good team, and had a goaltender who could stop him?
Was scorching.
He had 10 points in that 7-game series they played in the first round.
Insane.
How many people need to leave the shitty teams and go to a good team and they're like, oh, that player is good, for us to realize that advanced metrics, at least the publicly available ones, do sort of slant towards the good teams. What a shock.
We should point out how cartoonishly different his Blue stats were from his Duck stats.
Yep.
With the Ducks, in 17 games, no goals, 4 assists, -7. In 51 games with the Blues, 9 goals, 27 assists, 36 points. 9 goals, 36 points would be respectable for any defenseman in a full season. Only 8 penalty minutes plus 19. And yes, again, in the playoffs, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points in just 7 games.
God bless him.
Dude. And 6'2", 210. I'm sorry. What am I not supposed to like here? Shoots left. Boo. The guy is... I don't want to toss this out there.
I think you do, because you're about to say it.
Because he's never really been in the conversation for anything. What has he got to do? People are like, I'm going to get shit all over for this. What has he got to do by the end of his career to be in Hall of Fame conversation? Because again, he's at 1,042 games played already.
The bar for the Hall of Fame is not very high.
He's going to
Hockey Hall of Fame.
He's going to hit 500 points by Halloween.
Yeah, might get him.
Long before Halloween.
Cam Fowler, huh?
Man.
Yeah.
Cam Fowler, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, everybody gets in.
Well,
Like everybody gets in these days. It's not a high bar.
I got to do a little more.
They gotta expand the Hall of Fame in Toronto.
Yeah. Like
We ran out of namespace.
with forwards, it's a little easier to be like, this is the bar, and here's what their peers, and here's... With defense, I'm a little less acquainted, but like if he's toiled in Anaheim, he's going to have to be blistering in St. Louis. Maybe.
But like with defensemen, you can make the argument about like how important they are defensively in their era.
Right.
So like I feel like even if you don't have the points, you could be like he was good at defense. And that's Hall of Fame worthy defense. Plus he has all of the games. Hall of Famer.
It's tricky. Like you look at a guy like Tyson Barrie's numbers, even like he was in his era a top 10 offensive producing defenseman. But we watched him and he could not defend. He knows he could not defend. I don't know. It's an interesting
I think
topic.
Cam Fowler gets into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah.
When it's all said and done.
Yeah. Especially if he like plays through that contract in St. Louis and he ends up with how long would that be in the NHL?
It's almost, it's probably 16, 17
Yeah,
years.
17-year NHL career, top defenseman in the league, like all the time, like spending your whole career with Anaheim and then going to the Blues for the end of it. And like, he's a Hall of Famer.
He was drafted in 2010 and played right away. 10 goals and 40 points as a rookie defenseman in the show. That's so hard.
He also will be, when he hits 500 points, that'll tie him with Ed Jovanovski, and I'm assuming OEL will have more than 500 points at that point.
Jovo Cup.
That's 77th all-time in scoring for a defenseman, which is
When he hits 500.
when he hits 500.
And he's going to cruise past 500.
yeah.
I'm just saying. He's going to, by the end of his career, I don't think people understand because he's kind of toiled on these teams. People don't understand the tier of player he's going to put himself in.
That's a
terms
really
of all-time accomplishment.
I'm like really surprised here.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
You look
like
at it,
he's
you're
been
like,
around for long enough that like he was on a bad team for long enough that we forgot about him.
Yeah.
But he was still putting up points that entire time. The fact he's just signed a 3-year deal, already well over 1,000 games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he plays 70 games on average for those 3 years. He's probably going to sign another deal.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's going to end up near 13, 14, 1,500 games by the end of his career.
That's Hockey Hall of Fame worthy.
That's a when you hit 1,000, it's special. And every 100 after that puts you in an echelon that I don't think people understand. Like 1,200 games is extraordinary. And unless something really untoward happens to him, he's going to cruise past it.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
As the guy who is, I think, most equipped to answer this question in all of hockey.
Okay.
Is Morgan Reilly a Hockey Hall of Famer?
So
When it's all said and done.
let's go ahead. Morgan Reilly has the Herculean task of being a Leaf, which people don't understand that it hurts him immensely.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, he played in Toronto.
He also played with some of the worst defense partners in the history of man. Like, just terrible.
So to give you an idea, Reilly is already at 500 points.
Do you know where he ranks in all-time points in the entirety of the NHL history?
Morgan Reilly?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty far back.
I don't know what his
Yes.
points are.
Where
He has
is
500
this? Wait, among defensemen?
amongst everybody.
Everybody. Okay. hit.
Morgan Reilly makes the page, so they cut it off at 500 points, and Morgan Reilly has 513 career points.
Uh-huh.
He ranks 545th all time in career
That's
points.
pretty amazing. If you could,
Man.
if you could draft somebody today in the first round and be like, they'll be in the top 500 all-time scoring, you take that
He's
draft
a
pick every day.
defenseman.
Yeah.
And he's a defenseman. That's amazing.
He's not in the top 500. He's in the top 600.
Oh, sorry, top 600.
He's
but
545.
all time, there's like
All time.
There's 110 years in the NHL.
Everybody who's ever played hockey
Yeah.
in the NHL, he's 545. That's pretty cool.
So nearly 200 games less than Cam Fowler. Already has more points. Doesn't have as many goals. I'm interested to see where that ends up. There's no guarantee. But by the end of Reilly's career, so he's 31, he's going to need some health. Like Fowler again played straight out of being drafted. I can't remember where he played. Reilly was drafted 2012, didn't make his debut until the next year in 2013. Or was it 2 years later? Doesn't matter. Again, Fowler is going to end up with more games played.
yes.
Like far more
Yeah.
games played. Yeah, those two players, I think, are two players who a lot of people have complained about for a long time. They're not as good as their numbers say, and this and that and that. And by the end of their career, like when these guys are 40-year-old men, like what's Reilly going to do? Fall down that list?
Right.
I mean, guys are going to pass him for sure, but he's going to pass more guys than he is passed by.
He's going to end up top 500, maybe 400 all time in points.
And if you make that list defenseman, then
Yeah.
who does he cruise by? Like, I love looking at the trends of like we have a bar, we understand generally what gets you in the Hall of Fame. And then I love looking at guys who are halfway or 2/3 their way through their career and going, holy shit, they're on a tiny little pace here.
They're going to hit that bar.
Fowler and Reilly those are two wonderful names.
If I'm
Like to
making a
bring
bet, I would bet both of those players are Hockey Hall of Famers by the end of it.
Both of them. And Reilly's another one, just like Fowler, no individual hardware.
Yeah.
Like,
But that hasn't stopped guys in the past.
It should.
Like I look at the guys who get in and the bar continues to drop, and individual trophies and winning Stanley Cups hasn't stopped the players from getting into the Hockey Hall
I
of
think
Fame.
we could probably ask the committee to stop only focusing on guys that played in the 80s and 90s. Like you can start electing guys who are like 2010s guys now. You can do that.
I hate picking on this player, but and he's a forward, so he's not exactly comparable. Pierre Turgeon.
Yeah.
When I start talking about games played totals and point totals,
He's why.
those things, when you get above a certain bar, they stop looking at the individual trophies and they go, okay, he's crossing all these bars. Turgeon, just shy of 1,300 games. That's a bar. Over 500 goals, 515. That's a bar. Over 1,300 points. There's a bar there. Over 100 playoff games. There's a bar there. 97 playoff points. There's a bar there. And the only individual trophy won the Lady Byng.
Which, yeah.
Like, is that a Hall of Fame? Is that that's a tiebreaker at best.
Like 500 goals goes ahead of having a late
Yeah.
thing.
And okay, he started playing in 87. So I definitely don't remember his full career. I remember probably the back half of it. I think at best he was the best player on his team a handful of years. Was he ever in the top 5 player in the league conversation? Was he ever in the top 10 player in the league conversation? And you could take this back to Cam Fowler and Morgan Reilly. Were they ever in the top 5 defenseman conversation? Were they ever in the top 10 defenseman conversation? But if you put up enough, it almost doesn't matter.
They reward longevity a lot, the Hall of Fame committee. They're like, this guy's been around the game for a long time. You know what? He deserves to get in.
The one longevity one that pissed me off because it 3,000 hits gets you into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bar for players, it's mostly forwards, that is indisputable. Every single retired player who has scored 600 or more goals is in the Hall of Fame. That was not true for a while because of the Hall of Fame's weird thing against Dave Anderchuk.
Yeah, that was strange.
640 career goals.
Wins a cup in his last season too.
But here was the problem. 1,600. No, it wasn't his last season. Second last.
Oh,
He was pretty bad in his last season, and it was kind of a difficult thing. 1,639 games played, though.
That's a lot of fucking
And they were like,
Jeez.
well, he was just in the league for so long.
People said the same about Marlowe.
Well, it's kind of crazy he was in the... It's hard. It's hard to be in the league that long and to play that many games. And he still scored 640. What are you doing keeping him out of the Hall of Fame? He had to wait how many years to get in?
A lot.
It was double-digit years.
Jesse, how come you don't know the amount of years?
A lot of years.
That's so many years.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just went on a little
Yeah.
tangent here. I'm sure we're at a 3-hour show.
Well, we got to very quickly do a little shout out to Pittsburgh because Marc Andre Fleury played
Yes.
we think his last game, but then Pierre LeBrun tweeted that maybe in January teams will try to induce him to come back. Let me say this.
Alan has been telegraphing
that.
this for months.
Alan has been saying this about older guys. I think the reason you're not hearing anything about Max Pacioretty is I would bet the same.
Yeah.
Like if Detroit were somehow in the playoff picture and his family lives in Michigan, I would not be shocked to see Max signed in Detroit for the playoff run. I'd also not be surprised to see the Leafs go, hey, Max, you were great in the playoffs last year. You want to join us in mid-February or something like that? And then just...
You can trade a draft pick or you can just sign a guy.
Well, and with cap flexibility, Alan's point is like, you couldn't do this before because nobody had any cap flexibility. But now that they do, it's sort of like, yeah, some of these guys don't need to go to camp. They don't need to, you know what they can bring.
Some of these teams also don't have assets.
Well, the Leafs.
Like some of these,
What do the Leafs really have?
the Panthers don't really have assets. Like
Yeah, but they've got a Stanley Cup. or
yeah,
two.
they do. No, but what I'm saying is the contending teams, some of them have been trying to contend for so long that they just have nothing left. And I don't know, you might as well try to sign a guy for free.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And it's so maybe it's not his last game, but I feel like
No.
it was also a pretty beautiful sight in Pittsburgh. Like the amount of people showing up. It's like a Columbus game or something like that, and how warmly he was received. And I don't know, I loved it.
It was great.
It was, you know what? Good on the Penguins too. Like
He belongs.
Kyle Dubas on down.
Oh yeah, 100%. And Dubas is good at those things. Like, Fleury retiring as a Penguin felt right. Gonna be crazy when he wins the cup in Florida.
Oh no.
Gonna be crazy.
Do we want to enjoy some scenes from Fleury and Crosby at practice
Yeah.
just for one last
Yeah, we
time
do.
so we can have a tear in our eyes? Here they are.
Look at
He was pranking people, put a big 29 on some car.
One time.
Oh, McElhaney.
Fleury.
Hey, McElhaney would have stopped it.
all of the things they were posting on social about him like signing autographs for fans just at the practice. It was such a great moment that they would do this, because like it doesn't matter. It's the preseason. We do this I can say this a million times. So the fact that you turn a meaningless game into something special for an individual who clearly wanted this and appreciates what special place Pittsburgh is to his whole life. Like, it's cool that the Penguins would do this.
I'd be great if Justin Brazeau could get out of the way. He's all 6 million feet of him.
Oh, that's who that is.
He is so big.
He's so damn big.
Yeah, that's a big
His
dude.
ass is at the crossbar. He's huge, man.
Dubas getting him anyway. I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
The one who got away.
Yeah.
Justin Brazeau.
Absolutely.
The one of 1,000 who got away.
Shall we do the press conference?
Yes, we shall. Steve, you're gonna have to. That was good that you did the noise because I can't press it in real life. This one is from Magnum 7110.
Wow. So they got a big wiener.
All right.
I thought they played for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
They write.
Oh, it's Mangum. Sorry.
When will there be an apology to the Jays and their front office?
On the CJ show.
When they win a game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They have not won a game in the playoffs. The last time they won a game in the playoffs with Shapiro at the helm, it was Anthopoulos' team.
It was 2016, the first year that they were in charge of the team.
Yeah.
They're not out of the woods yet.
No.
I'm real happy they won the division, but
I think
let's go get a championship.
Everybody who watches the Jays and has followed this Jays team over the course of this past decade is cautiously optimistic about how the division series can go, but we know not to get too high.
Yeah.
Because things can always take a turn.
You know what's been crazy is watching Yankees fans dig up all the Mets shit from the Juan Soto signing today. Mm-hmm. Like online, all the Yankees accounts are like, oh yeah. And
Wouldn't
it's
you?
just Mets fans like losing their minds about how excited they were about Soto. We're the big brother now, I saw somebody say. And like they fucking go out against the Marlins. That was brutal. Man, sports is fucking rough. Anyway, yeah, when it comes to the Jays, man, listen, these guys were given 10 fucking years to do this. This is not even bare minimum shit. No disrespect to Mark Shapiro, who I've interviewed, and I like immensely. I really like the man. But I think if you were to give him truth serum and say, hey, Mark, do you think it's acceptable that it took you 10 years to get here?
Right.
He'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And it should have happened earlier, and we had some pretty stunning losses.
The reason that this has been so spectacular is because this should have been last year's team.
Yeah.
Like the 2014 finished last in the American League East. They missed the playoffs. It was a disaster season, but the expectations heading into 24 were that they were going to look like the 25 season. So heading into 2025, we were in the depths of hell as Blue Jays fans. Like Vladdy was unsigned heading into spring training. He had a deadline being like, I'm not going to negotiate anything after that.
The Ohtani stuff had happened in recent memory.
That was the offseason previous. And this past offseason, it was not getting Juan Soto. It was not getting Roki Sasaki. And everybody was like, okay, you can't do anything here.
Yeah.
You guys have had enough kicks at the can at this. Give somebody else a shot. And Rogers, because they love Shapiro and Atkins and John Schneider and everything they got going on there, was like, no, we're going to keep going with this no matter what happens. And nobody believed in it. So it's spectacular that now we sit here at the end of 162 and they've won the division.
And their big signing never played.
Santander never made it into the lineup until, he played in the springtime, then got injured, didn't play the whole season. Then he's got in last week or so. And it's been a collection of individual efforts that I don't think anybody expected. Like Eric Lauer, I'm so happy he got to have the final out to seal the deal for the division championship, because that's somebody who was not supposed to be in the starting rotation, came out of the bullpen, entered the starting rotation, was one of their best starters for the entire summer. And then when they're like, okay, we got Shane Bieber, we don't need you anymore, Eric Lauer, he's like, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm going to go to the bullpen and do my thing, because that's been the attitude for the entire Blue Jays roster, where everybody is in it for the guy next to them, and everybody has played specific roles on this team so that they can have success. And that's how John Schneider and his coaching staff and all the analytics nerds coach this team. It's we want a bunch of different guys who can fill a bunch of different situations. So whenever we need something, we have somebody to help. And that's why they reacquired IKF to fill in everywhere on the diamond. Ernie Clement plays everywhere. Davis Schneider has been like fucked around all season, where we're only playing versus certain pitchers, and he's always cool with it because they all have this one goal to win a World Series.
Yeah, he rocks.
love him.
I got to ask you too, because when they got Jimenez from Cleveland, I think people were like, well, his batting sucks, and like that was the problem with the Jays last year. Nobody could fucking hit. But like with him and IKF and that sort of thing in the infield, if you need a defensive stop and it's the late game and you can switch guys out, like they've got one of the stronger defensive infields I think I've ever seen them have, right? Like it's kind of crazy. Like their ground ball outs and that sort of thing are going to be huge for them in the offseason. And in the postseason. I don't know. I'm excited about the way they've handled this. I think George Springer having
George
renaissance year.
Springer's season is, I think, the most unexpected out of everything that happened this year. Because last year, like, he's 35 years old. Has a terrible season, and you're like, okay, it's over. Yeah, like it's it. You've hit that age where it's done. The age one.
A large part of why no one expected things to get better.
Yeah, and he had one of the best careers of his entire, or one of the best seasons of his entire career. Like I think this is his highest batting average ever in his career. His second highest on base percentage. His like third highest OPS. Like he had a career year, and he's been such a great person for the off-field stuff, and he's been like the spirit animal of the team itself. Yeah, and he's backed it up by having one of the best offensive performances on the field, and he's led the major since the All-Star break. I think he leads the league in OPS and batting average. Like he's been unreal, and it's spectacular. See, and you mentioned the fielding there. They have platinum glove players in Alejandro Kirk behind the plate, Varsho in center field, and Andreas Jimenez on whether he plays short or second, and come when Bo Bichette's ready, who knows? But like they've built this team to have top level defense, and they really emphasize doing the little things right, the extra stuff right, where we're just not going to be the Yankees where we want to hit home runs. We want to play great defense. We want to be great around the base pass. Like they've really built a great team top to bottom.
So I know they've got some tough roster decisions. Are Barrios and Scherzer pitching in the postseason for these guys? And are they starting, or are they out of the bullpen? If it's
me and I am doing it, I do Gausman, and then Bieber, and then you Savage, and then you see how it goes in Game 4.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what I do.
Are those guys on the postseason roster?
Oh, Scherzer and
Berríos.
Scherzer, I don't know if it makes sense to have him out of the pen.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I'd have to take a look at the roster. Right now, I probably wouldn't have Berríos on the roster.
Wow.
I think those are your 3 starters, and then your bullpen over the last couple of weeks have been so good that you just trust your bullpen.
I love that Fluharty.
Now, if you
Mason
can't bring,
Fluharty's been awesome.
Love him.
if you can't bring Berríos on the roster, like, does that mean he's gone for the whole postseason? Or
No, he's just gone for that round.
that round?
So you tweak your roster.
Is he just tired?
every
Like,
round.
what happened?
I'm not like, just by the end of the season, it's just not there, So like they didn't really need him because there was a point where they had like 7 starters going, and then they cut it down to like 6, and then they're like 5, and then the season's so close to being over, and like the games are so important that they can run like a 4-man rotation out there, and he just is getting squeezed. And right now, in this series, it's a 5-game series.
Yeah.
You don't need that many starters. And if he's a starter in the way he's stretched out, it's like those are the 3 guys I'm pitching.
Yeah, I remember
three
when
separate starters.
Remember when they first made the playoffs, surprisingly, with Hyun-Jin Ryu, and they're like, "We're gonna save him for Game 3," and they didn't make Game 3 because fucking Charlie Montoyo's like, "Yeah, why would we pitch let's save our best player for the last game? You fucking morons!" Like, this is the kind of shit the Jays have subjected us to. So yeah, sorry, long answer to the short question. Well, no apologies.
Well, I'm really excited for the playoffs, but like it just sucks that like no one's streaming.
Yes, I'm going to be streaming the division series starting Saturday on the SDPN YouTube channel. We're going to have a little Jays postseason watch along.
Fuck yeah, Jess.
So
when does that start?
That starts Saturday's game number 1, Sunday's game number 2. I think they play game 3 on the same day the Leafs open the season. So we got to see if that's a day game or not. We don't have the times of the game, but we'll talk about that when we get closer to game 3. Or it might be game 4 is on the home. They might not even get to game 4. Could be a 3-game switch because it's a 5-game series. But at least 1, 2, and 3, you'll see me on the YouTube channel.
I don't think I'll see game 1 because I'll be watching the Leafs preseason action. Which I love so much. Saturday night, I can't.
No, they'll be playing a day game.
Oh, they're playing day. Okay,
yeah,
I guess I'm okay with that.
The major networks will put the Jays in the day game.
Well, and I think
unless it's Yankees, we don't know.
The last time the Jays were in the playoffs, it was all afternoon games.
Yeah.
So, but if you got New York or you got Boston, that's prime time.
The Jays have never played the Yankees or Red Sox in the playoffs.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
a wild stat.
Well, they've also been terrible for a long time.
Yeah, and there was
behind those 2.
Yeah,
it spoke to like the years between 94 and 2015, and just how bad this damn organization has been for that long.
A generation.
Literally, yeah. Like I grew up knowing the Jays are just kind of bad.
Yep,
but they had those 2 great players, Delgado and Halladay.
Yeah,
sure love them.
And they'd run through, just like Roger Clemens of the world.
Oh yeah, I remember AJ Burnett.
Yeah,
so fucking pumped about AJ Burnett.
That was on the cusp of getting good.
Yes,
like they were like trying to do some stuff, and that didn't work out. But yeah, a lot of dark years. I'm so happy that we're not there anymore.
Me too. Yay, go Jays fans, go CJ, who sat out most of the season and will now be watching. I'm excited for Shane B.
What's the ruling on that? If you were so out on this team, I feel like it was completely justified. Like if you didn't believe at all, I didn't believe at all. Like it's fair.
I think there are no rules on fandom, and CJ was justified. Mm-hmm. And I actually kind of admire how long he stuck to his guns. Mm-hmm. We're talking first place for a month. And he's like,
nope,
okay, well,
won't do it.
I'm starting to feel a little stupid, but screw these guys.
And it was hilarious because towards the end of last season, like the end of the hockey season, he looked smart. Like they were, and all the predictions, they're bringing them up today. Like I think there's baseball images that precede unfortunate events, and it had like all the baseball insiders, like Jays 4th, 5th, 4th. Like that's the highest they had them.
Yeah.
Nobody was counting on the Orioles to be dog shit this year either.
No, the Orioles coming in were supposed to be a playoff team.
Thanks for nothing, by the way.
And the Red Sox were supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Could have used a Yankees loss in there, Baltimore. Jesus.
Yeah, seriously. The Mets shit, man. Just if you want some hilarious stuff, there are some serious Mets rants going on right now. Yankees fans are giving it to.
For context, for the Mets stuff that I was talking about, the Mets in as recently as July had the best record in Major League Baseball.
All of it.
And they missed the playoffs on the last day.
45 and 25 or something.
Yeah.
No, it was even worse.
And they only got to 83 wins.
When they were first.
Yeah. And then they only got to 83 wins.
Yeah. It's one of the most epic collapses there's been in baseball. And they have, I think, the second highest payroll in all of MLB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're disgustingly awful.
I had a conversation, and then we'll close out the show, but it's funny. I had a conversation with somebody out of New York a couple weeks ago.
Aaron Judge.
Was not Aaron Judge. That was a different call. But they were talking about, because, when you talk in like creative concepts or, agencies where you're talking about like sales stuff, you have to, if you're not selling to Canadians and Canadian companies who understand the place that hockey has in this country, then it's difficult and you have to compare it to other sports. So when I talk about, hey, here's what the Toronto Maple Leafs mean in this context, here's what the Canadians mean, here's what the Oilers mean, here's what McDavid means, whatever. So I said, like, Toronto's sort of the big city in Canada, so the closest comparable would be like they're like the Yankees. But imagine the Yankees and they don't win.
And they never.
And the guy looked at me
win.
and he's like, "So you're the Mets?" And I was like, "Oh, he's right." Shit, he's absolutely right.
We're the Mets without the presence of the Yankees.
Yes, yeah, we don't even have anyone to make us look bad. We just do it on our own.
Yeah, the Leafs aren't the little brother to anybody.
No, it's just
Subway Series against ourselves and lose anyway.
100%. Yeah, and I just thought that was a
Steve, I had a message for you. Because I said this on my channel last night about the Jays winning. And they clinched on the last day, and they clinch in a tiebreak. The Jays didn't even win the division outright. They have the exact same record as the Yankees. They win because they beat the Yankees in more games in their series. They won on head-to-head matchup.
Get good. Skill issue.
But the tie, if anybody ever gets on you about caring too much about a game in October, in November, December, in January, about the Leafs, show them the standings in the Major League Baseball. There's 162 of these games.
That's so many games!
And it still came down to the final day. Every win that the Jays had in April, May, June, July, August, September mattered. Every single one of those games. So when you are yelling about the Leafs West Coast swing in Anaheim and all of California where they drop an ugly one to San Jose, that game could matter.
Calm down is like you know what fan is short for? Fanatic.
So don't let me do it to you either. Don't let Adam do it.
If you lose honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games matter.
Hey, you know how many points the Calgary Flames missed out on the playoffs by last year?
0. They tied.
0 fucking points.
Yeah.
Imagine they had one more of those fucking points. Imagine they'd pushed one of them to overtime.
An additional shootout loss.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is.
Every point matters. Every win matters.
Cam Fowler, that would have cost Cam Fowler millions of dollars.
Yeah?
Well, he had 10 points in 7 games in the first round.
Oh,
you mean like if he doesn't get in?
That would have cost him millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Adam might have a point. He probably got to ask for a little bit more because he had a very good round.
Yeah.
That's
Matt Bolesky made $20 million off one good half season.
yeah, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. No, when you sit with a team all season long and you see like the Jays were spectacular at making games that shouldn't be close, and then winning those games in the end. They led the league in comeback wins. They almost set the franchise record for comeback wins in a season. And if they don't fight out one more of those wins, they don't win the division.
You know when you see Steve lose his mind in the regular season?
What?
You see him lose his mind when the Leafs are losing early and give up.
Yeah.
That's always when it happens. And people are like, yo, bro, it's game 62 or it's game 32. Doesn't matter. But it's the Jays are like it's like a game 136 and they're down 4 or 5 runs and they're like, we are not going to quit. We are going to come after you. Mm-hmm. And even when you lose those games, you still gain something. That is the shit that like championship teams, they do that.
Yeah.
They do that.
It's why I'm so high on this James team. And like, I think they can easily,
beautiful.
They could win the World Series this year, and it's scary thoughts.
The city needs this.
They could do it.
Man, I haven't seen Toronto. Like, we got our asses handed to us over COVID. Toronto was like on like a hot streak. after that, before the Raptors championship, but with the rise of the Raptors, the Leafs were doing better. 2019 was sort of the culmination of it all, right? It was amazing. And then the next year, okay, we're going to fucking knock your teeth in and put you through 2 years in Ontario of sitting inside away from your friends and family. It has taken half a decade to recover from that. And the Jays doing this could really be just a really great moment for the city. Let's hope they win a fucking game.
Yes.
Especially when
First ones since 2016.
Win a
That's what
fucking
we're
game,
looking for.
Win a game.
Not a series.
No, just a game.
Start with a game.
Yeah.
Just let's baby steps here.
That's right.
Start with a game.
We are
So
Toronto
Steve,
fans.
how are you going to react in game 26 when, I don't know, who's it going to be? It's probably going to be Willie. Doesn't back check enough, and a goal goes in the back of the net.
Like an absolute psycho. Gonna act like a complete psycho, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna tell me to calm down, and I'm not gonna do it.
Yep.
And then what? The cycle repeats. There was recently Steve, you got to stop yelling,
No.
or you're gonna lose the long-time listener. And I'm like, couldn't be that long.
No, you said the bakery makes bread.
Yeah,
Is what he said.
you walk into the bakery and you're like, is that yeast I smell? This place is bullshit.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.